All right, move on, mate. Kripa touched the paper. Yes. So, Arjun began to make some symbols in front of the main gate of the prison. What is that? Bala asked mortified. Kripa squeezed his eyes shut and tried to understand it himself. Looks like bacteria to me. Why are you drawing bacteria, mate? That's a bazaar shack, you idiot. That doesn't look like a shack. That looks horrible. Arjun frowned. I'm not an artist, so please forgive me, you too. He ticked off the shacks. There are 5 bazaars in the city and this one is the biggest. And, very strangely enough, facing the prison. To make life difficult for infiltrators like us, Kripa explained. All right, what else? There is a pigeon post system that operates nearby, Arjun said. And there is this one person, very trustworthy, who comes with some food in a cart and enters every day. Food for the prisoners, Kripa nodded. And that's how we will enter, Kripa said. But he's the same man and if anyone sees it, Kripa snapped. We need to be creative obviously. What is on the other side of the prison? He paused. That'll be the alternative. The mining street, as they call it, where the armory is made. And what is that? Asked Kripa, pointing to the outer circle Arjun had made around the prison. Wires. The entire prison has barbed and serrated wires, which makes it difficult to get through. Arjun replied. Kripa showed it to Bala. I need something to break through there. Get it from the mining street itself. And we need 3 masks to hide our identities. And how do you plan to enter the prison through the back? There is no door. Kripa smiled. Mate, we need to make the door. Arjun didn't really understand that day what Kripa had said, but he had been planning to go inside the prison to know the basic structure of the prison. That's what Kripa told him to do. And he also told him not to get killed in the process, which would be immensely problematic as they would be short of one member. And here Arjun had thought Kripa cared. Apparently, the mysterious plan of the redoubtable Acharya was simple and yet complex. He wanted to know the insides of the prison and use the back door entry even though there was none. Arjun didn't realize why the plan would be genius until Kripa explained to them in detail. He said they would have to go and rob the reservoirs of Soma. We can't just rob it. I know. I'm working on finding some way to get it. Arjun was displeased, but he had no alternative plan to work on. And what do you plan to do with the Somas, which has wrecked our lives? Make bombs out of it. Kripa had grinned. Bala and Arjun glanced at each other. Do you know how to make it? Arjun asked. I have taught my nephew to do it, and it didn't go as planned, Kripa reminisced. But I know, yes, we need a very little amount to help us get going. During the Mahajuddha, many used Soma mixed bombs, which were commonly called astras. We will use it at the back door, blast it open, enter the prison, free Kalki and escape instantly after that. He said that, and for a moment, silence ensued until Arjun began. What if it doesn't work? There is always a probability of not working, Kripa said. So yes, if it doesn't work, we will die and we would end up killing other inmates as well. Arjun grabbed tufts of his hair in frustration. And how do you plan to not kill others? By placing it right where it's supposed to be. And for that, you need to enter the prison and see where we can plant it. And here he was, standing outside the prison with another apple to occupy him. The plan was absurd and unhinged and depended on a lot of variables. Kripa was the definitive version of craziness, coming up with absurd plans like these. Astras were considered to be given by gods to a few warriors, but Kripa said it was nothing like that. They would need one more person in the team, Arjun knew. And he had seen the candidate who worked for Ratri. She was a cherub-faced, silver-haired girl, but he had seen her in action, agile and fast when she trained on the porch of Ratri's house. Her name is Padma, Ratri had said when she caught Arjun staring at her. She was an orphan when I took her in. All her siblings were murdered in front of her. It was odd listening to Ratri being so melancholic when she would be the most unemotional person otherwise. Who did it? She wouldn't say. I have asked her many times. Arjun was very intrigued. He hadn't liked her in any other way since he was not interested in girls. But she was different. She had a look of a warrior hidden inside her. And later, he had seen Ratri yelling at Padma for having disappeared for hours and not telling her why. I don't like this. I don't like how you are not telling me what you are up to. But if I find out and I don't like it, I will kick you out of the house. Padma had been quiet until she calmly said, You already have, in a way, since you have taken those men in our mission. They are helping us. They are nothing but fools. She was being derogatory, but she was right. But for now, Arjun didn't have to care about a girl. His eyes calmly set on the man who was going towards the city with his wagon. He had all sorts of food items with him. Arjun whistled at Shuko, who was sitting on his shoulder. Shuko nodded and zapped towards the man, and with his short beak, grabbed a loaf of bread. The man, horrified, began to follow as Shuko teased him. That was his chance. Arjun, with quick strides, grabbed onto the wagon, with a shawl wrapped around his face to cover it, making his way inside the market. From a look over his shoulder, he saw the man was frantically trying to find his wagon. Arjun couldn't help but smile. He reached the prison gates, passing through the market that was bustling with the smells of flowers and food, the sound of yells and raised voices. It was buzzing with sellers and buyers, haggling over the produce and wares on display. The prison gate was blocked by two Nagas, who stood with their swords. At the sight of Arjun, they began to open the gates before they stopped. Arjun had felt an elated sense of joy for a moment until he realized they had caught on to something. Arjun stopped, acting as if he was coughing, while the Naga appeared in front of him. Arjun had his entire face hidden with the shawl. "Who are you?" Arjun coughed. "It's me, man." He coughed again. "I'm ill, man. I'm just very ill today." His heart was thumping hard and his fingers had grown old. He was trying to bring his gruff voice out, trying to allay the guard's suspicion. "You didn't need to come then, dude, man. Why are you talking like that?" Arjun sneezed and rubbed his nose on the Naga's breastplate. He got scared. "Oh, dare you not? Let him go inside." "Disgusting." The Naga frowned, wiping the snot off of the armor. With a concealed smile inside his shawl, he made way slowly. Arjun was glad that his height was similar to the man who took the food inside the prison. As he entered, he noticed he was met by inmates. They were walking around, while Naga stood calmly, guarding the inner prison complex. Arjun had to act his way through. At the courtyard, inmates took their desired food. Some chose fruits for themselves, others opted for glasses of milk. Arjun made his way forward then, inside the corridors, his eyes taking mental notes of the architecture. But he couldn't find anything that would lead towards the back of the prison. Everything seemed to be in the front. Amidst the inmates who were ranting and yelling from the darkness, Arjun came round to find multiple windows, but each window merely opened out inside the prison courtyard. The fortress was confusing. Arjun passed down